Okay. First of all, let me express my greetings and congratulations with this founding meeting of the Green University. And I'd also like to say hello to my dear old friend Alfonso and congratulate him too for putting this splendid institution together. Very much needed at this point in history. You know, we are at a turning point right now in the history of our species, and it's absolutely essential that we create an economic game plan to address the triple challenge of the global economic meltdown, the energy crisis, and the real-time impacts of climate change on the planet. This Green University here can become a frame of reference, a focal point, a living laboratory, if you will, to begin to lay out the 4 pillars of a third industrial revolution infrastructure for Italy and for Europe and the world. It's clear that we're in the sunset now of the second industrial revolution based on conventional fuels, coal, oil, gas, and uranium. And in these twilight years, it's very important that we now bring together the business community, the civil society, and government at every level to begin to convert our cities, our suburban regions, our rural regions into a new third industrial revolution game plan. That game plan has 4 pillars to the infrastructure. First and most obvious, we're going to renewable energies. The sun, the wind, geothermal, recycling garbage to energy, agricultural and forestry waste, ocean tides, hydro. These energies are what we call distributed energies because they're found everywhere. Unlike elite energies, coal, oil, gas, and uranium, that are only found in certain places and require huge military and geopolitical commitments. So as you all know, the European Union's committed to the first of the 4 pillars of this third industrial revolution, which is 20% renewable energy, 33% electricity renewable by 2020. Of course, then the question is, how do we collect all this abundant, distributed renewable energy? You know, we're not going to be able to build enough centralized solar or wind parks to run the European continent. I'm in favor of centralized wind and solar. They're essential. They're not sufficient. They're transitional. And they beg the question, if renewable energy is distributed and it's found virtually everywhere in the world, why would we only collect it in a few central points? So what we need to begin to think now is pillar 2 of this infrastructure, this 4-pillar infrastructure, which is buildings. Buildings, buildings, buildings. We're going to need to convert every building in Italy and every building in the world so that these buildings can produce some, most, or all of their power by collecting and sucking up the renewable energy surrounding their buildings. The sun from the roof, the wind on the side of the building, the heat under the ground, the garbage, etc. So we're going to start turning our buildings into power plants. And these power plants are going to be our own personal power vehicles. That's how we jumpstart the economy and create a new economic revolution. But then the question is, how do we store all this renewable energy? Because even in beautiful southern Italy, the sun isn't always shining and the wind isn't always blowing. We're going to have to start putting hydrogen storage infrastructure in place in all of our buildings and across our power grid in Italy and Europe so that we can have a reliable store of renewable energy. Meaning when the sun does hit the roof of your house or the wind comes up against the side of the building, you generate your electricity. If you have surplus you don't need at any given time, electrolyze water and let the hydrogen come out, put it in a fuel cell. When the sun isn't shining, that hydrogen can be converted back to electricity for a reliable supply. And as you know, the European Union's made a €7 billion commitment to move hydrogen storage across the 27 member states in the next 10, 15, 20 years. So pillar 1, renewable energy, it's distributed. Pillar 2, since it's found everywhere, we're going to have our buildings collected, millions and millions of buildings, homes, offices, factories, technology parks. At pillar 3, we're going to put in hydrogen storage so that we can make sure that we have a reliable supply of this intermittent energy 24/7. And then pillar 4, that's where it becomes interesting. At pillar 4, we're going to take the same technology that created a distributive ICT revolution, the internet technologies, which allow us, all of us, to communicate with each other across the world. I'm going to take that technology that was used to create the internet, and we're going to take the power grid of Italy and Europe and the world and transforming it into an intergrid over the next 25 years that acts just like the internet. So that when millions of us in our buildings are producing just a little bit more electricity than we might need at any given time of day, we can share it across a smart intergrid, digital intergrid, just like we share information across the internet. This is what we call power to the people. This is distributed capitalism. Now everyone becomes an energy player. We flatten the field, and we're all entrepreneurs in our own future destiny. This third industrial revolution can start here in Italy, and Italy can be a flagship for Europe, and Europe a flagship for the world. So this green university is a tremendous idea. It's a laboratory for us to experiment with the new technologies and to begin deploying them in the market so that we can lay down these four-pillar infrastructure very quickly and begin to move to a post-carbon era, an era that will allow us to deal with the global meltdown in the economy, energy crisis, and the real-time impacts of climate change. So again, congratulations on this inaugural meeting of the Green University. Congratulations, Alfonso, for putting this together, and I look forward to working in partnership with you to issue in a new era of distributed capitalism for Italy and for the rest of Europe. Thank you.